Hello good people, I'm going to talk about unit prefixes used in the metric system. Whenever we have a unit, such as a meter, we can combine it with a prefix. It turns out that each prefix is associated with a particular value. Note that when we do not have a prefix, the value in play is 1. So when I say a meter, it is just 1 meter. However, when I say a kilometer, I'm suggesting 1,000 meters, because the prefix kilo indicates a value of 1,000. By the same token, when I say a centimeter, I'm talking about 1/100th of a meter. The prefix centi stands for 1/100th. Each of these numerical values can also be expressed using scientific notation. So centi stands for 100th or 0.01, or in scientific notation, 1 multiplied by 10 to the power of -2. Each prefix is also associated with its own symbol. For example, the prefix centi has a symbol C. The prefix kilo has a symbol K. Note that the prefix micro, which stands for a millionth, has the Greek letter mu as its symbol. These symbols are part of our units. And so if I have 1 kilometer, it would be written as 1 km. If I have 100 centimeters, it would be written as 100 cm. If I have 6 megaliters, the symbol would be capital M, capital L, because the capital M stands for mega and the capital L stands for liters. Take care not to confuse megaliters with milliliters. 6 milliliters would be written as 6, lowercase m for milli, and then capital L for liters. 17 kilograms would be written as 17 kg, while 12 micrograms would be written as 12 mu g. At this stage you might be wondering, why do we bother with the prefixes in the first place? Can't we measure everything just in meters, or just in grams, or just in liters? Well, we can. However, it can lead to rather awkward numbers. Let me bring in 3 examples. At the top, I have the capacity of a dam. It happens to be 3,100,000,000,000 liters, or in scientific notation, 3.1 multiplied by 10 to the power of 12 liters. While I can certainly use liters to indicate the volume of water held by a dam, the value does not exactly roll off the tongue. If I use the prefixes, more specifically if I use the correct prefixes, I get to a value that is much easier to handle. The value trillion is represented by the prefix tera, and so 3,100,000,000,000 can be represented as 3.1 teraliters. Now, just because we have prefixes does not mean that we should use them all the time. In the second example, I have given the length of a truck as 8,920 millimeters. And while there is nothing necessarily wrong with using millimeters to indicate the length of a truck, it is a little bit awkward. And so in this case, we would not resort to using prefixes. The length of the truck could be given in just meters. And in this case, that would be 8.92 meters. In the third example, I have given the mass of a bacterium. In grams, it is a very awkward number. 1 times 10 to the power of -12 grams. This is a trillionth of a single gram. And luckily, we have a prefix for a trillionth. It is pico. And so this mass could also be given as 1 picogram. One of the burning questions you have right now could be, what prefix should we use? If we are dealing with tiny things, then the prefixes of micro, nano, and pico are appropriate. If we are dealing with very large things, then the prefixes of mega, giga, and tera could be appropriate. On a more human scale, prefixes might not be needed at all. Or if they are used, they would be the prefixes such as centi and kilo. That is all for now, and I will see you on the flip side.